Spring Valley for $165 a month. That was great. But it's not that way anymore.
No traffic or anything.
So it's changed.
Any more questions from the Planning Commission?
I just have a question. I don't know if it's Robert or Tanya in terms of noting, usually there's a traffic department or if someone has made note, I don't know, maybe they don't do it on plats, but has not made any comments on this particular petition.
Ms. Clemens, the
Yes.
traffic engineer did look at it, and he had no objections to the layout and design of it.
Okay, it's not noted, that's why.
Anybody from the audience like to come forward?
Mr.
Guys,
Smith?
please remember, if we could get a spokesperson for the group, we'll have several people come up. You're allotted 10 minutes, okay?
Good evening. My name is Jennifer Waits. I'm the president of the Neighborhood Association with Spring Valley and Cross Creek. And we also have our vice president, treasurer, and secretary, and also the rest of the people are members of the neighborhoods of Spring Valley and Cross Creek. We do have oppositions to this.
Ms. Waits, can you please give your address as well for the record?
Yes, ma'am. My address is 278 Smallbrook Drive. You come right inside Spring Valley Road, and it's the first street to the right. So it's most definitely will be affected by this. Actually, our whole neighborhood will. One of the things that we're most definitely against this plan being approved, the meeting that Mr. Jeffcoat mentioned, it was sprung on us. We had tried all month to try to get in touch with them, Jeffcoat Engineering and Agate Homes LLC, in order to discuss exactly what this plan was when we first heard about it. Our requests were ignored until one of the representatives, Mr. Gerald Lovejoy, called me on Friday evening, this past Friday evening, and requested to be a part of our emergency meeting, which was this past Monday, in which I replied I needed to speak with the board and our city councilman, because at that point, we were trying to get the residents to meet with our city council to see what we could do about this. Instead of waiting for a response back from us, we woke up Saturday morning and letters were attached to residents' mailboxes without their permission, calling a meeting 30 minutes before our emergency meeting on Monday. So residents were very confused. They thought we called a meeting on Monday when they knew that we put out signs saying that we were going to do it at 6:30 Monday. Jeffcoat Engineering and Agate Homes called a meeting at 6 o'clock in a different location. So we had the residents very confused about that and exactly what was going on. We feel that this whole process has been hidden from us. Very upset about it, and we've turned in many reasons why we don't feel that this project, without a doubt, should happen. We're not for it, as they mentioned before. The information that we got, that the price ranges was going to be 180 to 200,000. That is not conforming to our neighborhood. That is way over the price, and we can't even see it selling at that particular price range. We don't even know where they got the price range from. As Mr. Jeffcoat mentioned, they haven't done the research to this area, but they want to build in our area. And the other information there, well, several things that we were told, that it was already decided that they were coming through Spring Valley off Woodley Road to East Riding, possibly also Smallbrook because it cuts through, but to East Riding to that dead end, and to come out, as you can see on the map, straight off Roaston. So they do have that plan already set to come right inside an established neighborhood that's already set up. We already have speeding issues. We just paved the road. It's a lot of different things that we've done to try to spruce up our neighborhood, and they're coming in without us really knowing exactly what's going on. We did want to sit down and speak with them. Like I said, it's been well over a month. We would even want to speak with them now. Our stance, if we can do anything about it, is that at this time we would not like for this to go through. It's too many unknowns. And when they mention about 20 units, to start, it should be a time frame set. Like you said, they're not sure how long. We are concerned about the fact being years, but when that question was asked, they don't have a time frame of how long this is going to affect us coming through, tearing up our streets, bringing in possible loitering, increased crime, because back there where they're talking about building in that cut, that's nothing but the woods. That's all that sits back there.
All right, we're drawing in on 10 minutes. Is one or two other people like to say something?
Yes, my name is Don Clemens. I live at 3440 Wood Park Drive in the Cross Creek neighborhood. And basically what I'm doing, I sent an email to Ms. Tanya and thank you. But I want to clarify my email here. We know that R75, these are zoned for R75s. But like Jennifer was saying, I don't want to repeat too much what she's saying, but like I said, what we're looking at now and what we know is that this project will come down Woodland Road and turn on East Riding. Now, I walk East Riding Road just about every morning, part of my exercise routine. And if you look at East Riding Road right now, it is in great disrepair. I'm telling you, it's in great disrepair. From Roseland to Smallbrook, the roads are coming apart. It is bad. And I'm just thinking that when you put, and I don't know how many truckloads of dirt would have to come down there to prep the soil, because that's prairie soil out there in spring, and where these homes are going, and basically all of Spring Valley is prairie soil. How many truckloads of dirt would have to come through there? And those homes, those roads are going to be completely destroyed. They're going to be completely destroyed. Now, what I would propose is that, they have R75. It's been zoned for homes. I would propose a different interest. And when I said off narrow lane, I did not mean coming up into Herbert Drive, which is part of Cross Creek. I would say if you go down Narrow Lane Road, go south before you get to Herbert Drive, before you get to the bridge, there are two entrances out there that you can see that goes back up in there. If they would clear out one of those entrances and put their trucks and heavy equipment down through there, if this is going to pass, that's where we'd like to see it. Now, also, if it comes off Woodland Road to Spring Valley to East Riding, right now, East Riding and Spring Valley Road, that's a bus stop for the Montgomery Public School System. That's a bus stop there. And then in the morning when I walk, I see another bus that it doesn't goes down Riding and goes up Rosen. And what kind of all these trucks coming in here all times of day, and then plus we have about 600 children at Peter Crump, and a great portion of those children, they use Spring Valley and East Riding to get back and forth. They walk. There ain't no buses up there. They walk to school. And so that's what, that's a main fear of this. If this plan where it's set up now, basically they're gonna come from Spring Valley to East Riding. It's a danger. It's a danger. Thank you.
All right, we'll take one more, and then that's going to be about it. If you got a different issue, ma'am.
Carmen Penny, address 224 Roseton. I also sent an email. I wanted to touch on the kids, because like we said, Peter Crump is 1 block away. East Riding, or Smallbrook, is Smallbrook, East Riding, and it's Peter Crump. The way they're saying is at the end of East Riding, at the end of Roseton, come out on the between the 200 300 block of Roseton. It's a lot of kids. We have people walking and everything. Also, in my email, I also put I'm a disabled vet. Between my front yards and my backyard is a total 180. I like to sit back there and see the deers playing and jumping. That helps me calm down, basically. I'm on medicine. I see psychiatrists. I see everything. I'm still a disabled vet, and that helps me with my therapy.
All right. Anything further from the Planning Commission? Mr. Jeffcoat?
I have a question for the developer, or
Mr. Jeffcoat?
Mr. Jeffcoat.
Yes.
It seems that one of the concerns is the route of the trucks that's going in for the construction and stuff. Is there any way you guys can work out so that it doesn't have to go through the neighborhood? Is there any way to work that out?
Yes, I think there are already regulations on the books that would stop some of that. So we would be happy to receive a yes vote subject to the construction routes being approved by the engineering department at the beginning, during it, and at the end. In other words, that's not a problem. You'd have to do that on just about all construction projects. Wouldn't that be satisfactory? I'm talking about a route down the side of the ditch or somewhere, who knows tonight where, but to make sure that it doesn't go through the neighborhoods.
Anything further from the Planning
Madam
Commission?
Chairman, I'd just like to ask if Mr. Smith could
Robert?
address the area in which we're talking about relative to the 2040 plan.
Good afternoon. Robert Smith, City Planning Director here at the City of Montgomery. So as far as, there are two different plans. There is a South Montgomery plan in which we had done a plan several years ago now at this point, and for the particular area that we're talking about, there is a recommendation for additional single-family homes, and so this would be in compliance with that particular plan. So this would be in compliance with that. And as the engineer and the developers have said, they will have to be built to the standard of R75, which would be the existing homes that are already in the neighborhood. So that would be a good thing.
Thank you, sir.
Rob, could you do me a favor? Because I think a lot of the community itself, I think they really don't understand what we're doing here tonight.
Right.
What we're doing here tonight is we are voting on a plat. Will you explain to them what a plat is?
Yeah, so basically what the vote here is tonight is basically what the layout of the new addition to the neighborhood would actually look like, which is what the engineer has basically laid out. The subdivision of the actual vacant land that's adjacent to the neighborhood, the wooded lot.
So basically what he's saying is they're not finna build no houses right now. Basically
Not right now. This is the preliminary plat.
Right.
The final plat will still have to come back before the Planning Commission
Exactly.
to be approved. And then there will be some other steps that would have to be done internal to the city before any construction permits and all of that stuff is given. And as Mr. Jeffcoat said, some other items would have to be worked out with the city engineering and the city traffic engineering department before anything starts.
So in other words, what Mr. Smith is saying, and I'm talking to the community now, because they're gonna have to come back here. So I know some of y'all concerned about the heavy equipment coming down your streets and all that stuff. Well, when they come back to get ready to build, then we can do something about that. I mean, we could actually cue them to do certain things. So right now, basically all they're doing is asking us to allow us to plat this property, name some streets, and do that kind of stuff. So basically ain't nothing finna be built right now.
Right. So they basically have to meet the requirements of the city's subdivision regulations. And I think based on what we know right now, Tanya and Warren, it would meet the requirements of the subdivision regulations. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robert.
Tanya, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
This is even though it's a preliminary plat, if you got zoning
Yep.
and you bring a plat in here and this group up here votes against it, okay? What are y'all gonna do within 30 days?
Well, you have to give a reason for your denial.
I understand all that.
If it's not a valid reason, they can, if it was, on a preliminary plat, nothing happens. If it was a final, in 30 days, they could record it.
But, you know, Tommy used to tell us that y'all do, in essence, y'all do whatever you want to, but if this is a plat, and I understand that's the reason I asked them the temporary, if this is a plat, we don't really have any control over it.
Not if it meets the subdivision regulations.
Exactly, and these meet the subdivision
Yes.
restrictions,
Right.
I mean, qualifications.
Right.
So at the end of the day, no matter what we do, it's gonna be approved.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be approved if it meets the requirements of the subdivision regulations. So everybody behind me understands. So, right, I understand. So still, as long, let's say they deny it and they give a reason for the denial, if it meets the requirements of the regulations, it will advance and move forward. But again, this is just a preliminary tonight. This is only the preliminary. Once they come in for the final, then that process would start.
But at the end of the day, we still don't have a choice.
No.
Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure they understood.
Thank you, Robert.
Well,
Is there anything else from the Planning Commission? Mr. Jeffcoat, are y'all wanting to vote tonight? Are y'all wanting a vote tonight? Agape?
Excuse me. My name is Angela Exford. I'm the South Alliance president. I live at 4816 Alamont Drive. This is one of our community on the south side. I've spoken with the president of the neighborhood association, and I also spoke with the investors. If you all would allow them an opportunity to sit down at the table with the South Alliance to discuss the issues that they have, if you would please consider carrying this over to next month so that we can work out the differences. We understand that this is something that the city has looked at far as the future for the green space of South Montgomery. However, we want to make sure we build relationships. We don't want relationships that are broken starting off at the beginning.
Mr. Jeffcoat, Agape, would y'all like a vote tonight? Or,
Speaking to
All
the
right.
microphone.
Yeah, we feel like the issues at this point have been covered for what's supposed to have been done and would like a vote tonight.
thank you, sir. A motion's in order.
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
I second.
The motion has been seconded. All those in favor, please raise your hand.
I'm sorry. Hold your hands up again. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
That's,
I abstain.
people keep putting your hands up and down. Hold your hands up high, please. 5 for it.
All those opposed?
I abstain.
You abstain. Mr. Hawkins? I can't hear you.
He abstains.
Okay. Motion passes.
Motion's been approved.
Item number 6, David Webb, representing Averett Properties, requesting to rezone one parcel of land on the north side of Highway 80 East in an Ag 1 and from an Ag 1 to an M1 zoning district.
Good evening. My name is David Webb. I represent Averett Properties Incorporated. Averett Properties holds properties for Averett Express Incorporated, the transportation company, and we are.
Can you pull the
located
mic
Will you,
up?
will you pull the
Can you pull the
microphone?
mic up?
Will you pull it closer to you, the microphone?
Yeah,
We can't
I'm
hear you very well, all the movement.
Again, my name's David Webb. I represent Averett Properties, Inc., which holds properties for Averett Express Incorporated, and we are located just down the street there on US 80. Have been there for some time and looking to get this property rezoned to build a new facility.
In the new facility, I have a question here. In the new facilities, will this just be, you would store the truck there and then somebody else pick it up and take it some other place?
Yes,
How exactly will this truck?
Yes, the plan will be, it is an LTL freight dock. So these local red Averett trucks that you see around town, those guys would come back to this facility. That's where the freight comes in. It goes out on the local pickup and delivery trucks and reaches the city that way.
Is there any further questions from the planning commission?
Is that property include the old Clyde's barbecue building there? Is that part of it?
Yes, sir.
Anything further? Anything from the audience? A motion's in order. Oh, excuse me.
My name is Alma Bowen. I live at 187 Callis Place on the south side of where this property is located. And I just had a couple of questions that since the city of Montgomery is doing this planning, does this mean this property is going to be in the city limits?
No, ma'am. Currently, it's in the police jurisdiction. I'm over here.
Oh,
It's not in the city limits, but it is within a 3-mile boundary that we still control as far as zoning.
okay. That was my main question, to make sure that it was still in the county end, because I still want to be in the county and not in the city and not in Wright Road.
Right.
And then also I'm president of Walmart Means Volunteer Fire Department, and I just wanted to make sure that I guess this would still be in our area. I don't mind the truck department because I see them all the time, and it's right down the street or road from us. And I have no other questions other than that, as long as it's still in the county.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything further?
There you have it.
I believe a motion's in order.
Move to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second.
Motion's been seconded. All those in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Thank you. Motion's approved.
Next item, Chase Construction Group, representing Averett Properties. This is the same property you just heard. This is for a plat.
And again, I'm David Webb, and I'm going to tell Chase I would go ahead and stand in for this one as well. Same exact piece that you looked at. We just need a plat for that piece to take it out of the master parcel.
Any questions from the planning commission? Anything from the audience? Believe a motion's in order.
Move to approve.
Second.
The motion's been seconded. All those in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion's approved. Thank you.
Next item, Jasmine Vasquez, requesting to rezone one parcel containing 4.1 acres on Cusada Ferry Road from a R50 district to a R99S district.
Good evening. My name is Barbara Turner. I'm just trying to come to translate stuff.
Yeah, pull the mic down.
Pull that mic down if you can, please.
My name is Barbara Turner. I came to translate it to Jasmine and her husband for relocating the home, the mobile home.
I got it. That structure that's already on that property, what is that? Yeah.
Oh, Cosadas of Ferry Road.
There's like a barn structure,
What is it?
a barn or something like that.
It's for a reason. They just want to move up more
I
to the
know.
front.
I know, but the property already has a structure on it.
Ma'am, he's saying there's a structure like a barn already on the property.
No. They're not there yet.
I don't think she's understanding
I don't either.
the question.
So is there a building or any kind of house or anything like that on the property already?
No. They don't build anything. I'm sorry.
No. Not that they put it on there, but here. Not that they put it on there. We're just asking, is there a building on the property now? Not that they put it on there, but
No. They don't build anything now. They're just gonna bring the mobile home.
She said there's nothing there.
The problem being there was no sign out there.
We posted signs.
Was it in an area that was cleared?
We posted right up on the road, on the property. We don't hide it behind anything. I'm saying, yeah, it was in a clear area, yes.
Yeah, well, there's a barn on that area too.
so the question that came up before about the location is going to be in a floodplain, has that been taken care of?
Is the location of being taken care of? What do you say?
Has the issue of the floodplain area,
The flood hazard.
the flood
Let
area,
me ask them, que si lo que había, el problema que se fue corregido, fue arreglado el problema que había. ¿Cómo lo hago? No sé. They have any issue over there? They don't recognize any issue with them.
Tanya, was there issue with the floodplain area, with it being within the
They went to the Board of Adjustment because they wanted to put the mobile home at the back of the property in the flood hazard area.
Yeah.
But it's too wet back there and they couldn't do that. So now they've got to rezone because they want to put it at the front. It doesn't matter that it shows flood, they're going to have to build it up 2 feet above the flood level anyway.
and they understand that?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes, they understand that part. They know they have to put it higher.
yes.
He understands.
Any other questions from the Planning Commission? Anything from the audience?
I don't know.
Motion's in order.
Move to approve.
Second?
Motion's been seconded. All those in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Thank you.
Approved. Thank you.
Next item is Kill Green and Bostic Engineering requesting final approval of Legacy Landing Plat Number 1 on the north end of Morris Street in a T40 and T5 district.
Look
Good
who's
evening,
back.
I'm Chris Bostic with Kilgreen and Bostic Engineering. Like she said, we're looking for approval on Legacy Landing Plat Number 1. This has been here previously, but since then, the road, blanking on the name of it, section of Morris Street has been vacated, and that is being incorporated into the plat.
How you gonna gain access?
Through Morris Street, we're not closing all of Morris Street, we're just closing the part that's on the property. And I believe it's already been vacated, hasn't it? Yes, the city's already vacated that.
Anything further from the Planning Commission? Anything from the audience? Believe a motion's in order.
Move to approve.
Do we have a second? Motion's been seconded. All those in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Thank you.
I've got one more.
Next item, Kill Green and Bostic Engineering, representing Cottonville Place and Macklemore Development Properties requesting to rezone property on the south side of Atlanta Highway, approximately 33.95 acres, from O1 and institutional to B3 and R75M.
As stated, our intent is to rezone this area along the south side of Atlanta Highway to R75M for apartments with a 300-foot depth frontage of B3. You can see from this map provided by the planning department that neither multifamily nor commercial are out of place in this area. We do call for, you'll see at the top there along to Atlanta Highway, we call for a 60-foot wide section of R75M that defines our intended future apartment access to Atlanta Highway to a currently unused median break. There is a traffic department comment in your packet that states that when a development plan is submitted, a traffic study will be required. If it triggers a traffic light, then the development will be routed to the traffic light. There is currently no buyer nor development plan tied to this rezoning. So as of right now, this is just a rezoning. No traffic study is needed. I verified the intent of that note with Wesley Cox, and it is for future developers to know ahead of time that they're going to have the traffic study. With the help of Ed Grimes, we did get to meet with representatives of the neighborhood associations on Monday, March 18th. They requested that the B3 zoning be restricted to exclude car washes and bars, not including restaurants with less than 50% alcohol sale. And the owner has agreed to these restrictions. Yesterday, we were asked by some of the leadership of Arrowhead Homeowners Association to delay the vote to next month so they could have a community meeting and discuss further. We do intend to ask for the vote to be delayed to next month, but because of the late date of us finding out, which was yesterday afternoon, that they were wanting us to delay, and also because of our concern with the wording of the traffic department's comment, I wanted to go ahead and be heard and let people be heard, even though we plan on delaying this vote, because these both seem like issues that could delay us further.
Anything from the Planning Commission?
So you want to be heard, but you're going to delay it until next month? Is that what you're saying?
You want to be heard, but you don't really want
Yes,
to be heard.
and part of the reason is the wording of the traffic comment is concerning. I don't want to delay to next month, and then the Planning Commission see that traffic comment for the first time, and Wesley Cox isn't here, and I get delayed another month because of the wording of that traffic comment saying that I'm supposed to have a traffic study now.
Okay.
So that was a concern, but then also, I found out yesterday afternoon there were people that wanted to come, so since I wanted to get that part clarified, I have no issue letting people speak as well.
Okay. Roger that. Okay.
Sorry, I'm not trying to waste time. I'm just concerned that traffic comment, the way it's worded, is going to cause additional delays.
No, okay, I understand.
Time for the next item.
So you're delaying it?
We're delayed.
I think somebody wants to speak.
Yeah, somebody want to speak since he's been
Well,
heard.
are we having a public hearing or not? That's what I need to know. Because if we're not having a public hearing and just delaying it, then we need to go on to the next item.
I agree.
I think it's a public hearing, to be honest with you, from what he said. But, whatever y'all decide, it's good with me.
Do you,
I'm more than happy, especially with the late date of people asking us to delay right before the meeting. I'm more than happy for anyone that wants to speak to let us know before the next meeting, what the issues are. So.
okay, the reason I'm asking is because if you officially hold a public hearing at the next one, when you come back, we don't have to have another public hearing, which means they have the option to not let anyone come up and speak again and say the same thing over.
But we could have.
Gotcha.
I
I understand what you're saying. I understand the concern. I don't think the Planning Commission would deny someone a chance to speak.
I'm just telling you the option.
Yeah. If no one wants to speak, or or if I'm out of order, I apologize. These were just concerns I didn't want to wait another month to address. So I'll let it be your decision.
If y'all want to hold a public hearing, it's fine.
I mean, if you're going to go meet with the neighborhoods, that's what we're delaying for. I don't know why we would need to all sit here and go through this whole ordeal if you're going to go meet with them and present and y'all are going to work it out there. I don't see why we would need to sit here and talk about it until y'all are ready to present and you've done what you need to do.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, thank you.
Delayed till next month.
Okay. Next item, Goodwood Mills Kaywood representing Amazon, requesting final approval of Hyundai Boulevard industrial plat located on the northeast corner of Hyundai Boulevard and Mobile Highway in the M3 district.
What's too late, buddy?
I was like, good evening. I was going to say, good afternoon.
Judy, pull that mic down.
I'm Judy Jones with Goodwood Mills in Kaywood, and we are requesting final plat approval. This plat was brought before the commission about 2 years ago. This is the site of the Amazon, and we had originally asked for 2 lots. Since that time, now that Amazon actually has purchased the property, they want to do 3 lots for the support services to Amazon, to use 2 sites available for that. And then Amazon is on 1.
Any questions from the Planning Commission? Any questions from the audience? Believe a motion's in order.
Move to approve.
Do we have a second? Motion's been seconded. All those in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Thank you.
Next and last item, Goodwood Mills Kaywood representing Auburn University in Rockland Homes, requesting to rezone 1 parcel of land on the east side of Ashton Road from a B2 to a R20T townhouse zoning district.
We are requesting to rezone this property to townhomes, and we also have representatives here from Rockland Homes that would like to speak more about their project.
Kenneth Wood, 350 Research Court, Peachtree Corner, Georgia. Is the presentation that we sent, is it up on the screen by chance? And we also have handouts if you guys would want to see those as well.
Ashton Road.
Did you set it up with?
Ashton Road. He's getting it up.
Awesome. Do you guys want the handouts, just, or do y'all, will y'all be able to see it on your screen?
Yeah, give me one. Give me another.
Yeah.
I like it.
I think I have it.
I didn't hear.
There it is.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, my.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you for Commission for letting us speak today. So this parcel, as you see on the site location map, is in between Ashton and Brown Springs, off of Highway 8.
Pull your mic.
Can you pull that microphone a little closer?
Is this better?
Thank you.
Off of Ashton and Brown Springs, wedged in between it, right behind the commercial. And so Rockland Homes is a 30-year-old home builder. They started out of Atlanta and has been in Georgia. Now they're in Alabama, South Carolina, pushing into Tennessee. And in this area, especially around different types of colleges, the area, Birmingham, Montgomery is a big focus right now for us. They're the preferred builder for the Falcons back in Atlanta, just kind of put a face with the name that they're a very reputable builder that have been around for a long time. And so they see this site. It's a site that Auburn University owns. They are the seller of it. They've chosen Rockland to be the purchaser of this. And in order to do it, we'd be asking to change from B2 to R20T for the townhome development. We have a mixture of 2 different types of product types that I'll walk through with you on it. When you look at it here, we looked at the different map, and it's really perfectly suited. You're obviously within walking distance of the university there. You're also walking distance of different retail and commercial that you have up on Highway 80 in front of it, as well as across the street, Jim and Nick's, and down the street. And so we feel like it's a really great use as you sit here today. And we've left really large buffers over to the commercial, and we have access on both sides out to each of the different roads that you see there. If you can go to the next slide, it shows our master plan. This was kind of some of the different ones. You can see kind of the AUM, where the different campus and the way it sits, and then kind of all that commercial area that it was surrounded around it. If you can go to the next one that shows our master plan slide. And so you can see it situated, and we even have on the next slide where you can see more of the color version to be able to kind of see what the open space is. So we really have good interconnected streets. We don't have dead ends on this, so the drivability around the site works really well. We have different size units on the outside than on the inside, so that you have a variety of housing types. This will have a master amenity. This would have a clubhouse. It will have the pool. We have the large open space area there. We're working on what that programming is, if it's going to be a dog park or an area where you can throw the frisbee or throw the football outside, but to be able to make the community. And you can see on the northern side of the site where you have the buffering there up to the commercial. Everything up above that is the commercial of that development that's there. So you have the green space as well as a shared pond that we would be maintaining. And then you can see the access lining up the drives on the left and the existing access drives on the right. With this, we would have over the 20% of open space. It's 190 unit facility total as the townhomes. All the roads are designed, as I mentioned, we have there, and really the walkability is what we have. And if you can go to the next slide, you'll start to see some of the different product type, and we have several different kind of products. If you can just kind of scroll through the different ones. We tried to bring all different types. These would be the ones on the inside, and then if you keep going, you'll see the ones on the outside. That are different ones and different styles, craftsman style, looking at some different types of colors to be here on that lighter kind of cool color scale to be able to have it for the community as part of this. And then finally is just a little bit of information in your packets about Rockland, like I said, in terms of what they've done. I've done a lot of projects with them back in Georgia, and even down in Alabama as you get to the southern part of the state. And a very quality builder. The insides of the units are all very well appointed, very nice and upscale. And so we really love the idea of this being so walkable in the area, sandwiched between the commercial and the university, because it gives you two different places. Whether you're going to the commercial or you're going to the university, you have options to be non-vehicular. And I know today that's a really big deal and a great way to be able to have a property situated there. And with that, I can take any questions or any comments that you guys may have, or answer anything about Rockland. And we also have Sal here that is a representative of Rockland Homes as well.
I'm just curious as to what is the price range of these properties?
Mr. Clemens, I can't hear.
What is the price range of these properties?
The retail values that we would put on these would be around $350,000 to $375,000. So, and this would be individually platted.
Thank you.
Are y'all going to use any of these as rental units, or is it primarily going to be rental?
We would like the ability to do both. We're entertaining with the University of Auburn. They really like the idea for student housing. And so we would request that we be able to do both.
And y'all handle the management if you sell them? And
Either
lease
way,
them?
it'll either be a professionally managed, like some of our projects in Florida and around other universities, where we have Willow Bridge, which used to be Lincoln Property Company. Everything is self-maintained. All the landscaping is done, all of the maintenance. So no matter what, whether it's sold or rented, it will always be taken care of. It's not like somebody's going to not cut their grass or not fix their shutters, and that'll either be maintained by the HOA, or if we would keep it, it would be wholly owned by Rockland and then managed third party by Willow Bridge.
So it will be HOA?
There, if you guys want us to, we always put them that way, because when we individually plat them, we have to have it. Now, at the end of the day, if we own the whole project, right, then we're still the ones on there. But yes, sir.
Will this be gated?
We would, I mean, we didn't plan on being gated, but we certainly wouldn't be opposed to it as well. So.
When you say gated, what kind of gated are you talking?
I mean, at the two entrances.
Like a private gated community?
Yes.
We didn't intend it to be that way originally.
With the little thing comes down.
Yeah, just because, obviously it matters on traffic and access too. Ken, do you want to speak to that? I mean, we're either way.
Let me ask you, while y'all are hitting on this one, James, at the end of the day, are y'all going to own the streets, or is the city going to own the streets?
That's really what gets down to the gating, right? Because if we gate it, then we have to privately own and maintain the streets. If the city wants them, then obviously we wouldn't gate it. And again, we are open to either way, whatever the way the city would like to do it.
I'd let the city own it.
Yes, sir, they maintain
Never
it.
designed as public.
Yeah.
The right of way.
And back to mine about the gate opening and closing and stuff.
So if the city owns them, traditionally, you can't gate. I don't know how it works in the city of Montgomery. You guys can tell us that. You know, a lot of times we can't gate a public road that's owned by the city. So then at that point in time, if it's the preference for the city for you guys to own, and we would deed the roads back to you guys, we would be happy to do so, and then we would not gate it.
And AUM understands understands this project as a part of, when you bought it from them, they understand what was going in there?
Yes, sir. They're the sellers. They came to us because this is what we do. We're really good at it. So, no, we're excited, you know. And obviously they own the property, so they're very well aware.
So they're not selling the property to you?
They are selling the property to us.
Okay.
Yeah, so the University of Auburn and Montgomery, it's their vice president of real estate that we have the contract with. So they're selling the property to us, and we're developing them.
And they know what you're going to develop it for?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. They're in support.
Will these be city streets in there? I mean, the reason I'm asking that now that I'm thinking through it.
Yes, sir.
This will be on Auburn University's campus. Do they own, are those streets city streets, or are they?
The University of Auburn owns the property, but I don't think it's actually a part of their actual campus. It's still in the city, so we would be purchasing it from the University of Auburn.
I
and then we would have
understand
the
all,
ability to dedicate
I
it.
understand that, but what I'm asking is if it's on Auburn University, what flexibility, if any, do you have?
It's not on their campus. They just happen to own the
Oh,
property.
it's, okay, so it's off the campus?
Just off the campus.
Okay, that answers that. Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions from the planning commission? Any concerns from the audience?
My name is Corliss Floyd, and I own a townhome on Ashton Road and Ashton Court. Most of the townhomes in that area are occupied by elderly people. My mother's 88. She lives in the one that I own. There's several other people here who own some of those homes. Our main concern is, or my main concern, is the noise if it's AUM students. Because I would say 85% of the people that live on the circle and on the court are in excess of 65 years old. There may be a few young marrieds, hardly any children in that neighborhood. And I didn't realize that this was going on until I just saw a sign on the property. So I would like that even maybe the representatives with Rockland Homes would maybe meet with the people in that community, just to let them know what's going on, that kind of thing. And I definitely would want some kind of gate. I mean, even a solid gate, because of course the noise for young students in school that stay up half the night and all that kind of thing, it's a problem for older people. And added traffic in that area, because right now it's a very quiet, safe neighborhood where, you know, the older people can use their walkers and go around the circle and that kind of thing. So my main concern is that we eliminate the noise. And are these going to be units that'll just be rental mostly, or will they actually be sold to students? And they would be, you know, private homeowners.
Well, his answer when I asked that question was that it was, they would have both. They would have both available.
See, that's
They would
what my
have it for
concern-
sale. Now, did I misinterpret that?
I couldn't hear y'all.
Certainly.
Yes, sir. Your question was, sorry.
I said when I asked the same question that she's asking, I understood you to say that you were going to have for sale and for rent.
We would like the option to have both. So if we were to build these for rent, right, it could be student housing, or, I mean, honestly, our price point's probably $2,200 plus per month, so that might price a lot of the students out of that market.
Right.
But we would like them to be fee simple platted so that either Rockland would own them all, or we'd have the option to hold them and rent them, or the ability to sell them. So it'd still be a subdivision, it'd still be, we have to go through the platting process. This is just for the initial zoning. And then in regards to the noise, we're happy, we're gonna have landscape buffers between the residents on either side, as you saw part of our site plan, and we'd be happy to put up a fence as well.
Do y'all mind meeting with them to kind of, I think what she said?
No,
I'm talking about them. They're the ones that got to decide.
We would be happy to. We would like to at least move forward to the next one, and in between this meeting and the city council, have a meeting with them. And then I know that this is just the zoning. We're still gonna have to go through you guys for preliminary plat and final plat approval, if I remember that correctly.
Well, what I'm asking is, would you be willing to put it off a month so you would have the opportunity? Are y'all under a time?
We're kind of under a time constraint with our contract with the university, so what we would request is that you guys could submit, for approval, and that part of that condition is that between now and next month, that we will meet with the residents and take anything that they have into consideration and fit that on our site plan and come up with another plan before the city council hearing. So, okay with you guys?
I don't know if the other ladies want to comment or not, but my concern is that most AUM students are not going to be able to afford to purchase a townhome in the, what do you say, 300?
Ma'am, speak in the
Microphone.
In the 250 or 300,000.
Pull it down, pull it down.
We have a problem
Microphone.
now with some of the noise.
Can you pull it down?
We have a problem now with some of the noise from Emery Farmer Field with the soccer and that kind of thing, which is okay because there's a tree line, that helps some of that. But I'm just concerned with a lot of young students running in and out all 3 hours of the day and night. That's my main thing. I would want some kind of tall wooden fence all the way around the thing to help with that. So I'm glad to meet with them. But like I said, most of the residents weren't even aware of it because the sign just went up like 3 weeks ago, and the first windstorm blew it into my mother's yard, and it was never put back. So a lot of them weren't even aware of what was going to be built there.
Okay. Sir?
I'm Jimmy Floyd. I'm her husband. My concern is where Ashton Road is. That whole road right there is going to be so close to to that road coming in. There's like 20 or 20, maybe 10 or 15 units there. Now, if they wasn't there, that'd be okay. And if they would make them single level, because that's what's there now, is single level. Everything in Ashton Court, Ashton Road is all single level. These are going to be 30 feet high, so they're going to be looking into everybody's backyard that's close by. I don't like that. I have a problem with that. And the noise level, like they're saying, is going to be, how college kids are.
Sure.
And it's going to be astronomical over there. I do not like it. I don't want it there. And if they do the single level, I wouldn't have a problem with it. Put what's already there, and it'll be fine.
Thank you.
And we can understand that.
Ma'am?
My name is Peggy Boutwell, and I live right there on the corner of Ashton Road on Ashton Circle. And this will be coming right down into my front yard. And I'm wondering what's going to be the separation between my yard and the new development.
Sir, is this going to be 2 floors or 3 floors? 2 floors.
See, we're single level, and Ashton Road comes into curves right in my front. And this property is right there. And I'm just curious if there's going to be some kind of buffer between this property, this development, and ours.
Sure. I think they're going to come up and address that. Gentlemen?
And also, like when the construction's going on, how are they going to be getting to this property?
All right.
See, our little neighborhood has about 50 homes, and we're one way in. Ashton Road is only one way in, no out.
Sure.
So I'm curious about those kind of things as to what we are facing. Like she said earlier, we basically are older people.
I understand. I think they're going to answer your questions right now.
That's what
we can give you one. So to answer the questions, so construction traffic was one of the comments. So if you can we go back to the site plan? The black and white one's even better. You'll actually see in the dead center of the property now, just so we didn't have, for residents, a lot of their concerns are our same concerns. In order for our residents to feel safe, we want them to feel buffered and safe too. You can see straight from Highway 80, if you scroll down just a little bit, there's access that already has the gravel access. So we anticipate construction coming, construction to coming in.
In and out there.
It will not be for the residents once it's built, but for construction, that's what we're talking about, coming in and out. And then the residents would line up with just the first, for the circular drive that you can see, you can probably see it on the rendering, they're just on the one just down on the next page. You can actually see where we line up. Yep, that drive lines up. That's a color rendering, it's always hard to line up, but that would line up directly with that. And then what we can commit to, that entire left side, we can do a 6-foot opaque fence, and that would either be solid wood or a chain link that would have the slat, so it's solid, but a solid fence there. We can also commit to a 30-foot evergreen double staggered buffer. And so we do that a lot on a lot of developments where we choose like an arborvitae, green giants, different type of species, and all the way up and down from the top to bottom beside the fence, we can do the double staggered evergreens, and that should really help with the noise buffering. It'll also push our plan a little bit further to the right, but since there's no residents on the right, it makes more sense to slant it a little further over to the right.
Well, is that entrance?
Ma'am, you need to speak in the mic.
Microphone, ma'am.
I'm sorry. Is that entrance off of Ashton right behind the shopping strip where there's a ditch there?
It's just so.
You're just south of the ditch where the ditch is.
If you come off of 80 and come and turn to your first driveway,
Yeah.
it would create a 4-way intersection there. So if you're looking at it, you see that intersection?
Yeah.
So it
You're
would
gonna
create
make a four-way there.
a 4-way there so that everybody can see everybody for the turning movement.
So we would have a 4-way stop sign before we get back to Atlanta Highway to the main traffic light.
I can't say what the city engineer would say, but I would anticipate that would be their comment, would be to add stop signs for traffic control.
Okay.
One more, that's fine.
That land is already elevated above the road. I don't know how far, but I know it's probably 10, 12 feet high at least or more. So that's what I'm saying. If they build something that's 2-story, it's going to be way up there. So are y'all going to level that land down to the road, or are you going to leave it high?
The ones on the edges we would bring.
Microphone, please.
Sorry. On the sides closest to the roads, we don't want them sitting up. It looks funny for us too.
The ones that I'm concerned about is on the side where she has the arrow now, those right there. If those townhomes weren't there, that would help. You take those 10 out, do away with them, and that would, give some privacy to the people over on Ashton. You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
If those were gone, then the issue of looking in people's yard and noise probably would not be as bad. You could just tree that whole place.
So
You see what I'm saying? This right here, these right here.
So I don't think. So I know what we can do is if there's a condition that there's no units backing up to Ashton Road,
yes,
I can make that change to put the road, basically we'll still have the buffer that we talked about, but I can flop the road over some and then put the units in more of a green space in the middle.
Yeah,
from a design
you
standpoint.
take those out, and move them.
Yeah, so
More away, if they were like 40, 50 feet.
well, I think the biggest thing is just say there's no units backing up to
Okay,
Ashton.
that would be
And
better. That would give these people privacy.
Yeah, understood.
Because the
Understood.
mother-in-law's on the corner right there.
Understood.
In that court.
It makes
And you can
sense.
definitely, from the hill, I can already see it in their yard.
Oh,
Even on the
understood.
sidewalk, you
Understood.
can see it in
That
the yard
makes
a little
sense.
bit.
That makes
All right, I
sense.
think,
That's my concern.
One final thing. I think as far as they're concerned about college students and that type thing, I think an HOA would be the way to go with that. I really do, because they can control it a lot better.
Will do.
And you guys are wanting us to go ahead and vote tonight, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
If possible, because of Auburn.
Is there any further questions from the planning commission? All right, I believe a motion's in order.
I would like to approve it with the understanding that these items that the developers are suggesting with the height of the berm or the height of the trees and the no in the area closest to the roads, that all goes along to the city council.
And HOA.
Oh, I didn't.
My concern is HOA.
That they have an HOA. That who has an HOA?
We would.
I
don't
said
know that
it
we-
comes with an HOA. They said they didn't mind doing an HOA. And so I think that will control some of the issues that they have with noise and that type of stuff. So I'm just adding to what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have that in mind, but
I second with his concerns, conditions.
Can you repeat that, Tanya, for us? What Mr. Cook and,
From what I gathered, and I may have to go back and listen, he said that the items that the developer suggested as far as landscaping and fencing and stuff goes along is put in the agenda for the city council to approve as a,
and the HOA that James is saying as well, correct?
yes.
All right. We have a second. All those in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Thank y'all.
Mr. Smith?
Are you going to meet with them? Are you going to meet with them? Okay, good.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Bass from the chamber is here to do number 2. So we're going to go back
All
to
right.
number 2.
Back to number 2.
How y'all doing tonight? Charlie Bass, I'm with the Montgomery Chamber, 600 South Court Street. Here for Dotier LLC, as you'll see, we've got a parcel there that's a little over 1,500 acres. They're looking to split this up into 2 parcels. The second parcel will give access for utilities that are needed for the project.
Which one are we on?
Number 2.
Number 2.
Number 2, yes.
18.
Just here requesting final approval.
Slate Plat No.
Are there any questions from the planning commission?
bear with me a minute. All you're trying to do is just split one parcel into 2.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay. Charlie, what is the, it says, we're talking about lots 1 and 2, but when I opened this up,
So you got
in
lot,
here, I got lot B and lot A. What's this, what is that?
let's see, let me get back to, so you got lot A, like I said, lot B is that one that they're replatting. It's going to be for utility access and a utility easement for servicing of the project. That 83 acres on lot B. Lot A will remain with the project.
So is that something that's part of this original?
Mr. Hardwick,
plat?
that's my fault. You're talking about how it's written up in the agenda?
No, well, I'm just talking about what I looked at when I saw the,
On the
what he's
agenda-
got up there. What is A and B? That's what I was asking.
On the agenda, I wrote it up as Lot 1 and Lot 2. Lot 1 is Lot A. I should have put Lot A.
Okay, I got you. I
Okay.
got you. That makes sense then. Thank you.
But that small corner is big, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Any further questions from the planning commission? Anything from the audience? Motion in order.
Move to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
We're adjourned.
Mr. Reed was asking me something about, what did you ask me?
There was a sheet on the back of mine that
Oh,
said something
about
about
the
digital,
digital.
moving to digital.
Yeah, we are moving to digital plan review within the office, and some of these agendas might be starting to be digital as well, unless you just absolutely want a paper copy.
So y'all want us to print our own if we want
That's
paper?
what it gets down to, right?
It's gonna save money.
If you want them, print them.
Otherwise, you're gonna have, you gotta make it,
That's all I got.
Yeah, damn it.
I'm gonna go digital, that's not paper, trust me.
I want the city council to have to do that too.
Meeting adjourned.
I did. Go get your.